Started. This is Big Rich. I'm with Real Boxing Facts. This is gonna be our second or maybe third interview we did. We did one interview back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay, this is maybe our third interview. I'm with my boy Town Business from Oakland, California, and we're getting ready to go live. We're getting ready to do our thing. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about some boxing. We'll probably get into some Shakir Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? And Frank Martin. And we'll probably talk a little bit about the fight that's coming up. You know what I'm saying with Canelo. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna talk about some things today. What you got up?
Man, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about as far as the boxing realm go. A lot of interesting news came out today, good and bad. It appears that Devin Haney is official. He's coming back home to fight in the Bay Area, December the 9th at the Chase Center in San Francisco, California. Devin was born in San Francisco, raised in Oakland until he relocated to Las Vegas. So this is like his homecoming party, and then also the disturbing news and disappointing news about Frank Martin pulling out of the fight with Shakur Stevenson. Just very disappointing to just hear about this. And this is just a long list of some of the antics aligned with some of the fighters in the PBC, and in particularly the guy by the name of Al Heyman. You got to start asking and raising questions about this because this seems to be a pattern now. So but we gonna discuss all that. We got it. We got an hour and some change available to discuss this. So and by the way, you guys, make something happen in the super chat, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't usually ask for donations, but man, I'll take whatever you can because Ashley, me, and Rich may put something together the weekend of Haney versus Regis. We may have we gonna come up with a location and we may put together a meet and greet with some of the local people from the Bay, some of the local media. And by the way, we trying to get Boxing Ego to, you know what I'm saying, we try to get Boxing Ego to come out. He didn't retire from covering fights live. So we try to get Boxing Ego. I just received confirmation. A few people coming into town. Ain't gonna say who gonna be available, but there's gonna be some surprises there. So it's gonna be the Bay gonna be lit though. We gonna show you how we do it in the Bay Area. That's just real talk. So once again, all my Bay Area people, if y'all can make it, y'all got 3 months. So y'all got 3 months from today. It is September the 9th. So y'all got exactly 3 months. So, if you ain't got nothing going on within the next 3 months, make yourself available. I'm pretty sure that the ticket price is going to be very reasonable. And this is going to be the first event that's going to be held, at the Chase Center, a boxing event. So, let's do it big. Let's show up and show out. Bay Area, I'm talking to some people. So like I said, we're going to try to do it big, man. Let's try to get a minimum of 14,000 people, you know, at the Chase Center, December the 9th. Devin Haney continues to build his legacy, trying to fight the best possible opponents available. Regis ain't no slouch. This is going to be a tough fight for Devin Haney because anything could happen. You know, Regis got a lot of power. Regis the type of dude, if he lands something solid, he could turn the fight around. So it's going to be a dangerous fight for Devin Haney. This is not going to be a cakewalk. So like I said, make sure y'all tune in. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be available, the Zone pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken. And if you guys can come through, come to Frisco, come to the Chase Center, man. See a live event. The Chase Center is a relatively new arena, it's state of the art. So, come through. It's like a 10-minute walk away from where the Giants play at. So, come through.
All right. Had a little complications with the video, but yeah, definitely y'all come through. I guess first topic we get into is Canelo, and you got the Charlo boy. What do you think about that fight, man?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. When I first heard about this fight, I still had the same stance that I have. It's just a fight I'm gonna tune in, but at the end of the day, if you wanted to ask me on a scale of 1 to 10, what's my excitement level about this fight? I would say probably maybe a little bit over 5, maybe a 6, because at the end of the day, um, Canelo has been campaigning and fighting at 168 and over 160 for a while now. You know, Jamel is really only fought. Really, I think he started at 147 and he's been at 154 for a while, and he just jumping up 2 weight classes. So at the end of the day, in all likelihood, if you look at the Las Vegas odds, he's an overwhelming underdog in this fight. So why would anybody like think that Jamel is gonna win this fight? I mean, anything can happen, but it's just highly unlikely that Jamel just goes up 2 weight classes and beats Canelo. Whether we like Canelo or not, and whether we think Canelo is a legitimate, #1 pound for pound fighter, at the end of the day, he's still a good fighter. If Canelo loses this fight, then to me, it just comes across, it'll be revealed to me that Canelo is what he wasn't built to be. It would come across as he's overrated to me. And I think if Canelo loses this fight where he has basically every damn advantage you could think of, I think Canelo should retire.
So the advantages that you're talking about, I heard some people talking about that Canelo always had a 5 round built-in thing for him. So any fighter that he fights, the fighter literally has to overcome the 5 rounds just to win the fight. Like the Laura fight, you know what I'm saying? When he fought Laura, we know what happened in that fight. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo's a good fighter, but not only is he a good fighter, but he also has a built-in 5 rounds. And a lot of great fighters have that because of the amount of money that they bring in. You know what I'm saying? So do you think that's going to be a factor in this fight?
Of course it is. It's always, listen, if you look at the fight with Bilboa, a fight which he was thoroughly dominated, I've watched the fight at least 4 times since the fight happened. And at first, I gave Canelo maybe at best, like maybe 4 would be generous. But when you watch that fight, Canelo may have only won 2 rounds. And then here's the thing, you already at a disadvantage when you fight Canelo. You're automatically down 4 rounds. So basically you have to play catch up. And then when you read the results of the fight, I think all 3 of the judges had Bibble winning 7 rounds to 5, when Bibble clearly won between 9 and 10 rounds. So
but that tells you right there, like even against Floyd, one judge had a draw. And that's what I'm saying inherently about that 5 rounds that's built in. That in that fight, you said that you gave him maybe 3 or maybe 4. You know what I'm saying? But the judges gave him 5 rounds. That's my point. How can you have 5 rounds guaranteed in the bag? 4 rounds or 5 rounds, either one, that's guaranteed. And anybody that Canelo fights, he's given that. So technically, only thing Canelo got to do is win another. If they give him 4 rounds, he just got to win another, 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying? And he won the fight.
Jamel may have to put Canelo on his ass at least twice just to get possibly a draw. And that's gonna be, that's gonna be like,
that's gonna be very hard to
do
because of Canelo's chin. He has a chin. He has a solid chin. I think maybe what's the name, brother? Damn near knocked him out. But that's what's his name? Your boy. What's his name?
You talking about Cotto?
Yeah, was it Cotto? Cotto's brother?
It might have been one.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
This is just real talk. If you go back and look at the Bibble fight, it's not impossible to stop Canelo, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Bibble, had he turned, if he had really realized what he was doing to Canelo, he could have stopped Canelo. And a lot of people realistically deep down inside, if that was one fight where I believe Canelo could have been stopped, Bibble would have stopped Canelo if they had fought again. But then here's the thing. The reason why Canelo, to me, really didn't take a rematch, because I think deep down inside, Canelo knew, if I fight this dude at light heavyweight, I barely got out of there, unscathed. And I think Bibble, now that he knows he can beat Canelo,
He'll step on the gas.
He's going to step on the gas, and
Right.
he's going to stop Canelo. And at the end of the day, where Canelo is big, according to when you look at the comparison with him and Charlo, well, Bivol is way bigger than Canelo. And I was laughing at the fact, based off what Bivol did to Canelo, there was actually people out there that actually thought Canelo had a chance against the best light heavyweight in the world, which is Arthur Beterbiev. And I couldn't believe there were some people that actually had the delusion of thinking that Canelo had a chance against Arthur Beterbiev. Canelo would have fought Arthur Beterbiev, his career would have ended, and he would have got carried out on the stretcher. That would have been his last. When I say Canelo that would have been his last fight. He would have got carried out on the stretcher. I know you Canelo fans be in disbelief when y'all would have been in disbelief when you would have saw what Beterbiev would have did to Canelo. He would have hurt Canelo really. He would have did him bad. It would have been Spence versus Crawford, except this time Canelo would have left on the stretcher. So you seen how Errol Spence was getting knocked all around the ring. Well, Canelo would have left in the stretcher. You seen what Beterbiev has been doing to light heavyweights. This is a man who's knocked out everybody he's fought. Nobody has went the distance with this dude. So y'all think Canelo, a dude who started at 147, was gonna go up to light heavyweight and be able to do something with Beterbiev? Stop it.
Hey, Tam, you know those Canelo fans is out there. Hey, I love y'all, man, but
stop the cap.
The stuff that he's talking is real talk. You know what I'm saying? That you can't suspect, especially Canelo's on the down. He's on the down anyway. So if he go into that fight with Beterbiev, you better believe like what he's saying might happen with Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Because the man has knocked out everybody he's fought. And it's like he like he said, Bivol would have stopped him. Bivol would have stopped him if he wasn't. If I think Bivol game plan was just to outbox him and just be worried about that hook that Canelo got and just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it honest and just outbox him. But I think, like you said, if he would have came in for that second fight, he would have just went for it. You know what I'm saying?
And he would have got it too.
Yeah,
he would have got it. He would have stopped Canelo, like I said before.
Do you think Charlo got the heart though to do that?
But see, here's something where Charlo might have one microscopic chance of doing the unthinkable. And I'll say this much. I did look at Canelo in his last fight against John Ryder. This might be why some people think that Charlo has a chance, because Canelo didn't look that great versus John Ryder. Some people say, oh, well, he dropped him. Well, see, here's the thing. He dropped him, but he couldn't stop him. And they fought in a ring, Rich, that was smaller than your living room.
Right.
And he still, this living room is relatively big, and the ring was
18 feet.
The ring was half the size. I swear that looked like that was like maybe a 12 by 12 ring. That ring was small as hell, and Canelo still couldn't do nothing. And you got people saying, well, he dominated every ring. You supposed to stop a guy like John Ryder. They gave Canelo every advantage that he had. It was in his hometown or near Guadalajara. It was like the ring was the size of a small bathroom, and he just couldn't get the dude out of there. So this is why I think some people are believing that Charlo got a chance. Now, we'll see how Canelo is looking and how motivated he is. But then you hearing some things about Charlo. You know, Charlo kind of admitted that it's getting tough for him to gain the weight, and he's looking a little bit slower. So this is why some people think he may be stopped. But we will find out shortly.
Well, we know that one thing we know about Charlo is that he's coming to fight. He ain't coming to lay down, and that's gonna make a good fight. You know, whether he can win. See, this is the reason why I don't think that Charlo's gonna win the fight. I know Charlo's gonna bring the fight, but I know he ain't gonna win. The reason why is because Canelo signed a $100 million 3-fight deal, $100 million deal with PBC. So that means this is literally the first fight. So he has to finish this contract. So he's going to win this fight. You know what I mean? And he's going to win the second fight. Now, that third fight against Benavidez, if he fights Benavidez, I don't know about that fight. Benavidez is going to bring it.
Well, that's funny that you brought this up, because you've been hearing also that the other Charlo been been like in the works to be like maybe the other fight, the next fight. And Jamal did an interview recently, and he was kind of hinting that he may be next. So basically, you could have Canelo go through both of the Charlo brothers, and then the third fight, which me and you both know the third fight was more than likely originally supposed to be Errol Spence, but then Crawford put a halt to those plans. David Benavidez, as far as Canelo versus David Benavidez, Canelo to me has given no indication that he wants any parts of David Benavidez. No matter how much he says, "Oh, I'm not ducking anybody." Well, here's the thing: you've had opportunity to fight this dude, and it just appears you're not interested in this fight. And then you also got to look at the other David Morrell Jr., who could be an option for Canelo. And by the way, David Morrell Jr., even though he has little experience, as a professional, he's picking it up. He gets better and better every fight. And this could be the dude that can slip through the cracks and come out of nowhere and be a force to be reckoned with, because I see that in him. He's getting better and better every fight. So you think to yourself, well, could he be an option for Canelo? Yeah, he could, but then that could be buyer beware, because that could backfire on Canelo the same way that the Bibbo fight did. So, I just don't think Canelo has any interest in fighting David Benavidez. I think that third fight, they'll try to find a credible dude for him. But
there's a fight that just came on the horizon after what Bud did to Errol. I mean, Bud really, really wants to fight Canelo.
Yeah, but okay, well,
that could be the third fight.
Okay, but here's
our second fight. That could be second.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. They're gonna, in all likely, want it to be somebody that's truly connected with the PBC. Bud isn't really a PBC fighter. Bud is still he's still an independent contractor, because basically it was just a two-fight. It was just basically a two-fight deal. And then my thing is, once again, as much as I believe in Bud, I believe in Bud. I think, like, let's just say if they was like the same size, you asking Terrence Crawford to go up 3 weight classes, because Canelo said he isn't gonna budge as far as like giving up weight, because he's gonna look for every advantage towards Terrence Crawford. Now, don't get me wrong, Rich. You're talking about, this may be $120 million purse. You talking about Canelo taking home like maybe $60-70 million, and Bud taking home maybe 50 or something like that. So money wise, it makes sense. But as far as the actual fight go, once again, Canelo would be an overwhelming favorite. And once again, this would be a fight that he should win, just off the fact that he's just bigger than Terrence Crawford. Now, as far as skill wise, Terrence Crawford is clearly the overall more skillful fighter. But as far as like size go, once again, this is size. Now, if Canelo was saying, hey, okay, to make a Terrence Crawford fight, okay, well, Canelo fights primarily at 168. Terrence Crawford is fighting right now. He hasn't officially moved up. Terrence Crawford is fighting at 147. I think, to be fair, if Canelo says, okay, I'll fight Terrence Crawford at a catch weight of I'll fight him at 158, 157. Terrence Crawford goes up 10 or 11 pounds. I go down 10 or 11 pounds. Then I think it would be, more of a even kill fight. But like I said, Canelo's been fighting up there at the higher weight classes for a while. He's been far removed from 150, the early 150s. He's been at
right.
Yeah, so
I mean, Canelo had a catch. He had the Canelo weight. It was 152.
Yeah, 152.
But even when he fought Floyd on the day of the weigh-in, Floyd weighed 150. The day of the fight, Floyd weighed 146. You know what I'm saying? Floyd couldn't even make the Canelo weight the next day. So in terms of weight, I don't really think it matters with Bud's skill set, because Earl Spence is a big fighter. Earl Spence ain't been no 100, and that may have affected his performance in a way, but not in a way where he still wasn't gonna get his ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and I love you, Earl Spence. And I love you, Spence people. I love you, Canelo. We're not bashing Canelo. We're just trying to break down some Canelo possibilities and Canelo fights. So we're not bashing nobody. You know what I mean? We just speaking facts here. That's all we trying to do is speak some truth and some facts. You know what I'm saying? But so all y'all Canelo fans don't get all mad in the comments and be all.
I don't give a damn. They come for me anyway, so I have no problem. I'll be wanting to smoke because everybody knows I will respond. So I mean, like I said, I just look at skill wise. Yeah, Bud is a far more superior, skillful fighter than Canelo. I mean, you look at Canelo, even though Canelo got power, you can fight Canelo in between his hooks and stuff. If you hit him with short punches, that's what Floyd was doing. Because Canelo was kind of wide with his hooks. And he kind of cocks back. You can see some of Canelo's punches coming. You can see that hook coming from a mile away. So I would just fight, I think Bud, if they was to actually fight, and like I said, at a catch weight, I think Bud could possibly outbox Canelo. But I just, at 168, and hey, Bernie the Boxer, if you listen, I'm sorry, man. I love Bud. Y'all know I'm down with T. Crawford. But at the end of the day, that's actually a lot, man, for Bud. I don't think there's ever been a fighter that went up 3 weight classes against anybody, even when Sugar Ray Robinson was fighting. And I don't think he ever went up 3 weight classes. Like I said, to ask Bud to go up 3 weight classes and fight another additional pound-for-pound fighter, that's asking a lot, especially 3 weight classes without a catch weight. Now, I will say this much, and this is real talk. If Terrence Crawford and Canelo happens at 168, and Bud goes up to 168 and he beats Canelo, Bud is the greatest fighter that ever lived. He is the GOAT. No disrespect to Ali, no disrespect.
Bud already, my opinion, Bud.
Yeah, already great. No, I'm just saying, right? If Terrence Crawford goes up to 168, he beats Canelo Alvarez, and if he stops him, no disrespect to Ali, Floyd, Sugar Ray Robinson, Larry Holmes, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. I'm sorry. Terrence Crawford is the greatest fighter that ever lived. Hands down. It's not even up for debate.
So let's talk about what Bud actually said. Bud said he accepted the offer at 168. He said he bring the smoke. So obviously he ain't worried about the weight. And I think what Bud's saying, Bud's basically saying that I'm taller than you. You a little bit more stockier than me, but just because you stocky, that don't mean nothing. I just showed you that I took the #1 dude that broke everybody's eye socket out in the last 5 years. I took him out the game. You know what I'm saying? With skills alone. He didn't even have to switch to right-handed. He stayed in the left-handed position. He said the whole fight. He said he decided the night before. So in terms of weight, I don't think it's going to matter. And I think Canelo knows that because I think it's kind of like the same fight that he can be fighting with Mayweather. Mayweather sat right there, right in front of Canelo.
All night.
He didn't run.
Walked him down.
He walked him down. Now, how a little 146-pound guy walked this big, because Canelo the night of the fight was at 160, maybe 170.
Yeah, I think they said
he was at least 175.
I think they said he ballooned up to like
178, I think. And let me Google that. I just want to make sure, let me Google that. I only Googled Floyd's weight, but let me Google that and make sure, you know what I'm saying, that he was, you know what I'm saying.
I think he ballooned up to like 168. I think he ballooned up to like
170.
Like he ballooned up in weight, and that's another thing. That's what I'm worried about with Terrence Crawford. I think Canelo may, put these stipulations and do some stuff to Bud because Canelo is a weight pimp, and Canelo is gonna look for every advantage he can. But the thing is with Bud, like I said, I'm just worried about what is Terrence Crawford's walk around weight. Because Terrence Crawford recently did a video saying I think he said he was walking around at 147. So he basically is a full-fledged welterweight. So that's why I'm just worried about Terrence Crawford giving up, or should I say, blowing up that much in weight. I don't want him to go into the fight looking like James the Grand Reaper Roper from the Great. I don't want, Terry Crawford, take off his robe and he got you remember that? Some of y'all don't know about that movie, but to be honest with you, that movie kind of was like a prelude to what's going on now in boxing. That movie was, for real, The Great White Hype. Y'all make sure y'all
Great White Hype. Go check that out YouTube.
Yeah, I want Bud looking like James the Grand Reaper Roper, going up to fight Canelo at 168. But that's what I'm worried about, So your body transformation going up that much in weight, because keep in mind, remember when Tarver went up in weight, and then he went up in weight to do Rocky. What was it? Which one of them was it? Rocky 6 or something?
Rocky.
Yeah, to do that with Sylvester Stallone, and then right after that, he fought Bernard Hopkins, and he got beat down,
beat bad.
And
but it was a replay of what your boy Roy Jones did. Remember, Roy Jones went all the way up to heavyweight, dropped all 30 pounds to come back down and fight your boy Tarver, and then he barely won that fight, barely, and then his ego got him back into that ring in the second fight, and he got knocked out.
Roy should have never.
You should never took that. Never let your ego get the best of you.
Roy should have never took that second fight. He had won. I thought he won. He barely won. I had him winning, and I thought Roy. To me, I thought Roy, after he had beat Luis, I thought he should have retired. I think Roy, that would have been the greatest swan. That would have been a great swan song to go up and win a title at heavyweight and then just walk away. But I think Roy,
his ego,
the ego, and I think the checks got the best of him.
Yes.
I was heartbroken when I saw that second Tarver fight. It was just, I was just in.
I was hurt. I remember that fight like it was yesterday, and I was hurt. I was hurt because of the simple fact that if y'all ever watch somebody who was one of the baddest motherfuckers in the ring, and Roy used to throw triple left hooks. You know what I'm saying? He brought that on the scene. Triple left hooks, and he would go bake cookies. He would play a basketball game.
Rapping.
Come on, rapping. And he'd come.
And Roy wasn't that bad on the mic.
Hey, you must have forgot.
Compared to what's out now, Roy looked like Kendrick Lamar compared to who rapping now.
Hey, you better not say his name wrong, because Roy pulled up on Fat Joe for putting his name lean back.
Yeah, Roy pulled up. He pulled
up on him.
Luckily, Fat Joe for him had like about 20 dudes.
20 goons with him, yeah.
Because otherwise, you would have heard about Fat
Joe
getting beat the fuck up.
Shout out to Fat Joe, man. Shout out to Fat Joe. But, so what do you think about that? What Frank Martin just did with Shakur Stevenson?
I mean, have you ever heard? Well, you heard of this. You got kids, and I know you remember this because we ain't that far in age. I know you remember that show, DuckTales.
Oh,
yeah. I just got to keep it 100. You already know it's highly publicized. It's bad blood, and I've kind of been ostracized by the PBC. The powers that be. But it is what it is. It's very disappointing that Frank Martin pulled out of this fight in less than 48 hours. Basically, he was going to make life-changing money, but I kind of think I know what the play is because I talked about this with somebody else. But at the end of the day, it's a real bad look for Frank Martin, and the PBC apologists, they can't talk their way out of this because everything was agreed upon to keep them from going to a purse bid. They're saying that he was guaranteed upwards of $1 million.
Woo! That's the most money Frank ever made, right?
Frank Martin versus Rivera, he made 75 racks.
God damn.
So technically, Rich, he made less than what you make. But that's your job, but we
shit, I make $500,000 a year. I don't know what he made. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see. And he basically make what I make around per year. So that's not a good look.
So this is probably one of the biggest fights for Frank. I mean, I could get why he didn't go through with it, because if he would have lost this fight, it probably would have been because I think Shakur would have exposed him. All his, I mean, he's not ready for somebody like a Shakur now. I think maybe 2 years from now, he might be ready for Shakur.
No, hell no. He wouldn't be ready for Shakur.
Well, not ready, but I'm just talking about he'll be more ready than he is now.
Well, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, let me say this. He's 28 now.
Yeah.
So this might have been the best possible chance he had to get Shakur Stevenson, but Shakur is just one of them dudes. I just think he's getting better and better, and I think Shakur eventually is going to be the best fighter in the world. Not named Devin Haney because I think it's just going to be out. I just think it's going to be out of those three dudes. Crawford is on his way out. Tank, Devin, and Shakur, they around the same age. I have to discount Ryan Garcia because Ryan Garcia, I don't think Ryan Garcia is that good. But here's what could happen. At the end of the day, we didn't seen this several times. We didn't seen this script before with PBC not willing to do business for the most part with Top Rank because here's the thing. Frank Martin fights Shakur Stevenson. He loses. Well, then guess what? His stature goes down and then he basically goes to the back burner where basically it's like, okay, well, you may lose to Shakur Stevenson, but guess what? We'll give you a couple of more soft touches. We'll give you a couple of soft touches. We may give you a rematch with Rivera. If you beat him, then guess what? We can save you for Tank. And at the same time, the trickle effect is, well, they're not going to give Tank some fights that could possibly put him in a position to lose. So then guess what? You can eventually make Tank versus Frank Martin at 135. And then at the end of the day, then you might can pay Frank Martin maybe $1.5–2 million. And it's still considered an in-house fight because you take $1 million and you go lose to Shakur Stevenson. Like I said before, then it's kind of like back to the drawing board. Like I said, I don't like it because it's a flat out duck. You would have been better off just saying, "Hey, nah, we're not going to take the fight." But
you gotta kind of like you can't just keep running that mouth. If you run your mouth like that, you gotta be like Floyd Mayweather. You run your mouth. Back it up.
No, he did. No, that's true. That's why I'm calling him out.
Don't call Shakur Stevenson out and get no back out the fight.
He said, "I'll jump at the chance," and then he get his chance. I'm talking about he pulled out of the fight. That fight was announced on Thursday, and this Saturday morning, you hear about, oh man,
you in the news?
Yeah, they talking about they not interested in the fight. So at the end of the day, this fight got Al Haymon and the PBC written all over it. I know that he played a pivotal role in this fight not happening. And I'm sorry, you Al Haymon apologists may not like it, but I know that this got Al Haymon written all over it, even though Frank Martin is with Man Down Promotions. We all know that he fight on PBC cards. We all know that possibly, who knows, this could go as high up as Steven Espinosa. But like I said before, he was about to get handsomely compensated. You're talking about $1 million. You jump from $75,000 to $1 million. You know how much? I mean, for real, you was guaranteed $1 million. And at the end of the day, I don't know. Who knows what happens if Tank has a mishap? Because they got to keep selling Tank as a hot commodity. Well, you got to keep Tank undefeated. So basically, you got to feed Tank guys. In all likelihood, is that sellable fights, but at the same time, Tank is going to be a favorite. So as far as Tank go, Frank Martin makes sense. As far as the other fights go, this is the PBC pattern with them being hesitant to make outside fights.
Well, let's get into this. We're going to talk about, I guess, a controversial topic. And I think Derek James and Errol Spence broke up. How you feel about that?
Well, nothing has been official yet, but I'll say this much. Derek James, I've been real disappointed in his behavior. They go into the press conference with Canelo. They're being respectful, humble, and all this stuff. And Jamel, it's an honor to fight Canelo and all this stuff. But then, you look at Derek James and his treatment towards Bomac. And by the way, free Bomac. and you just seeing Derek James making comments about Bomax Wade and all this stuff, and I had a big problem with this. And then just watching the Errol Spence fight, he really wasn't giving Errol Spence good instructions. And I always kind of questioned Derek James as a trainer because I would question Errol Spence because I really would analyze Errol Spence and I looked at Errol Spence based off the type of fighters he was fighting. And this is what I told you when we was at that when we was at what was that Giant what is that Nations?
Yes.
And yeah, when we was at Nations, and I told you that I saw something that bothered me about Errol Spence going into that fight, and I saw it when the fight happened. Except it was worse than what me and you thought it was gonna be. We thought we thought Errol Spence was gonna eventually run into something, but he basically got beat from pillar to post. And like I said, I questioned Derek James as a trainer to a certain degree. This is why when I first heard about Ryan Garcia going to Derek James, I was like, I don't think Derek James' style of training is gonna suit Ryan Garcia. I felt Ryan Garcia would have been more suitable to work with David Benavidez Sr., Jose Benavidez Sr. I thought that his style would be more complementary to Ryan's fighting style, him fighting more like David Benavidez than him trying to be like a dude, a breakdown fighter that try to, go upstairs, go downstairs. Errol Spence is very mechanical, and I saw this in a lot of fights. And this is why when I heard about the possibility of fighting Terrence Crawford, Rich, I told you years ago. I told you that I always thought that Terrence Crawford would stop Errol Spence if they fought. I saw it back in 2018 when he fought Jeff Horn. I was at that fight, and I saw it right then and there. When I saw what Terrence Crawford did to Jeff Horn, I said he gonna beat Errol Spence if they fight. A lot of people said I was delusional. Everybody thought that Errol Spence, as soon as the bell rung, going into the fight with Terrence Crawford, a lot of these delusional people thought that Terrence Crawford was gonna get hit with one punch and he was gonna go down. I was like, what are you guys smoking? But getting back to Derek James, I question a lot of his training methods towards Errol Spence because Errol Spence is just like very mechanical. And to be honest with you, he could be predictable. He really didn't make that many adjustments going with Terrence Crawford. But Terrence Crawford, like I said, he watched Errol Spence. He studied Errol Spence. He had an answer for everything that Errol Spence tried to do. Errol Spence couldn't make no adjustments in that fight.
And the piggyback on that, shout out to Derek James and Errol Spence, you know what I'm saying? But Errol's my guy, but in these type of fights, when you fight somebody like a Terrence Crawford, I think Errol Spence didn't do enough video study. Because if he would have just studied Terrence Crawford, he would have knew that he's so complex. I mean, watching Terrence, when I was with Terrence Crawford out in San Mateo, he taught me a lot, man. Just being there with him and how it wasn't even so much his boxing, it's his IQ. Man, it's how smart he is when he's in that ring. The stuff he was teaching Devin, I was amazed. I was in his corner, I did 9 rounds with him, and it was just like, it was amazing. Like, he was one of the best. Bud himself is an amazing coach. You know what I mean? You think about a fighter, he's an amazing coach. He's a boxer's coach. You know what I mean? And it's like, if he has that type of mentality, you know what I'm saying, as a coach, you already know if you're in the ring with him and you do something wrong, he knows how to, break you down. As soon as you do something, it's just like Floyd. Floyd, it takes like 1 or 2 rounds for Floyd to get you locked in. Bud, man, it looked like to me, Bud had Earl locked in after a round. It was like after a round.
No, but wait a minute. Okay, I want you to let people know this is something that he told me when he first went there. For some reason, I don't know why I didn't get the invite. Bill
Haney.
Bill, you supposed to call me, bro. But nevertheless, neither here nor there. That's why I agree. But you had told me.
Yeah.
Tell the Bud fans and tell the people when you was there about Bud's strength. And when people was sitting up thinking about Errol Spence was gonna have this ginormous strength advantage over Terrence Crawford. I already knew Terrence Crawford's background. I knew he was a championship caliber wrestler. Yeah. But tell them about Bud.
Man, let me tell you something. And this is what a lot of people don't know. I was there. I got the video. Not only did he pick up Devin Haney's bodyguard, who's probably about 300 pounds, and slam him. It's on video. You go to Boxing Eagles page, he's got it on video. He also picked up Devin Haney and one of Devin Haney's fighters and had them both in like this and slammed both of them too. Now this is Bud. This people, y'all can see this, but I'm telling you, Bud is strong. That he may look small to y'all. He may look skinny. He may not even look like he weighs nothing. But I'm gonna tell you, man, he country strong, man.
You know who else strong like that?
Ox, man. I'm telling you.
You know who else like tall and strong like Snoop Dogg is like strong?
Oh yeah, Snoop too. He's tall. He's like 6'6", you know what I mean? Tall and
he can do that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
So like I said, when you told me that, when you confirmed that, that just gave me more of an indication of what was gonna happen, because people were sitting up there, talking about, oh man, Errol Spence is so strong. He gonna bully Terrence Crawford. I was like, okay. Because see, I already knew this stuff. And I was trying to hint to you guys. What was gonna happen. But at the end of the day, I wanted you guys to see for yourself, because there was a lot of people putting out a lot of fake narratives, fake news, and all this kind of stuff going into this fight. I already knew Errol Spence was not going to be able to bully and punk Terrence Crawford like a lot of y'all was made to believe, based off some of the bullshit that was being put out by some of these content creators. So now y'all know. Now y'all see.
Yep.
So, and I'm telling y'all right now, if it happens in December, I don't think the results is going to be any different. But first, we got to find out what's going on with Bomac, and then plus, I don't know if y'all know, but according to reports and from my resources, Terrence Crawford, he just a dude. He a solid dude, but contractually, from what I was told, he's not obligated to give Errol Spence a rematch, because according to reports, Errol Spence did not make the deadline in time. He was supposed to basically activate his rematch clause by the 28th of August, and they said he didn't do it till the 30th. So he actually missed it by 2 days. So technically, Terrence Crawford does not have to give Errol Spence a rematch if he chooses not to. But I think Terrence Crawford is a man of his word. I think he's a solid dude, and I think Terrence Crawford is the type of dude to be like, well, y'all coming up with all these excuses. Y'all accusing me of having loaded gloves. You accusing me of being on steroids and all this kind of stuff. And okay, I'm going to do it again. It may be worse this time. This time, listen, you got to understand something. That was a one-sided fight. That was a one-sided fight. This wasn't Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier won, where it was 15 rounds and they went back and forth until the last couple of rounds, and then Joe Frazier solidified the fight by dropping Muhammad Ali, and then they had a rematch. No, this was a one-sided fight where one dude got mollywopped. I'm talking about Bud did the Omarion on Errol Spence. You remember that song by Omarion called Touch? Yeah, he was touching Errol Spence up. So, like I said before, some of you guys, you can listen to them content creators that put out that BS that's gonna have y'all fooled like a rematch is gonna be different because it's gonna be at a different weight class. But wait a minute, y'all was the same people that said Errol Spence was gonna demolish Terrence Crawford at 147. Terrence Crawford had to hear this stuff about Errol Spence don't need a tune-up. Errol Spence was the one saying he don't need a tune-up. He going directly into the Terrence Crawford fight. So Errol Spence kind of was the dude talking out the side of his ass, and he had y'all really believing hype. And y'all took the bait, and y'all lost thousands of dollars, and Errol Spence got humiliated. And that's just the bottom line.
Well, I guess we can talk about one more fighter before we close it up. We definitely going to be doing these shows
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? A lot. Y'all definitely hit our links.
We
You know
gonna
what
do
I'm
this
saying? Real
once a
Boxing
month.
Facts. And then you got my boy Town Business, you know what I'm saying, on YouTube, me on Twitter, you know, Instagram, TikTok, definitely. But I guess we have to talk about Devin Haney. Devin Haney moving
Best
up
for
to
last.
140. Now, if this is what I don't like. I don't like when Devin is out there being great. Devin is the only one that's going to Australia 2 times and trying to be great. You know what I'm saying? Devin is the only one that's trying to fight killers. He fought Lomachenko. He called Lomachenko out and fought Lomachenko.
And he beat him.
And he beat him. You
and I'm gonna say this again.
And
he won. He won. He won. He won.
Yes.
He beat Lomachenko.
And
wasn't a robbery. He won.
He won. And now he's fighting Regis. Now, everybody know Regis he's a beast. He's another left-handed beast. And Devin said, yeah, I'll fight that guy. He's the only one doing that. In my opinion, Tank, Tank should be doing this. Tank should be saying, hey, Shakur Stevenson, come on, you next. Tank should be saying, hey, Devin Haney, hey, you next, come on. Lomachenko, hey, come on over here, you next. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Frank Martin, hey, come on, we fight next. That's what Tank should be doing. You know what I'm saying? But if Tank want to be great, I got to treat Tank just like I did Canelo when Canelo wasn't fighting all them nobodies for them 5 years. And now I'm giving him a little credit because he signed with PBC and he signaled that he wants to fight the Charlos and maybe Benavidez and maybe some other fight. So I got to give him a little credit. But the problem with Tank is that Tank is not doing what he should be doing as a top level fighter. I'm not saying he's going to lose any of them fights, but you got to stand on your ground. You got to say, hey, I want to fight Shakur Stevenson next. That's the next fight we about to fight. You know what I'm saying? And Shakur Stevenson, you already know he ready. Matter of fact, everybody in boxing damn near didn't want to fight him. Now, I am mad about Shakur Stevenson because he didn't accept that offer. He talking about, the 25% and, you know what I'm saying, and then he wasn't getting paid. But I heard that he was going to get paid more money than he ever made in his life. And not only that, he was given an opportunity to fight for all the belts. You know what I'm saying? Because Tank don't care about the belts, but Shakur does. So it's like, man, to me, Devin Haney is one of those guys, is a throwback fighter. He reminds me of somebody like a Aaron Pryor. You know what I'm saying? Someone who will show up to your press conference and call you out and be ready to fight.
Well, first of all, let me speak on that. First of all, you guys, me and Rich, we both out of Oakland. So first of all, we very proud. We're happy because we ain't got to jump on no damn planes. we basically get to work from home finally. Me and Rich get tired of jumping on these damn planes and stuff, man. So we get to work from home. We can go straight from work to the event, cover it, or work straight from home. So this is something that me and him both deserve as media dudes, because I like the fact that this fight happened. Devin is trying to fight the best available opponents. Now, before y'all try to talk crazy about Regis, let me tell you something. Let's keep it above. A lot of people duck Regis. Jose Ramirez apparently didn't want no smoke with Regis. It was quite a few people that didn't want any smoke with Regis. And then, to be honest with you, the Josh Taylor fight could have went either way. It could have went either way. So
I think if it was done in America, he would have won that fight.
Yeah, if it was in the States, Regis probably would have got the W and he'd still be undefeated. But give Devin Haney his credit. This is what makes you a Hall of Famer. Devin truly got it out the mud, but that's how we do in the Bay Area. If people don't want to make it happen for us, we'll make it happen. He found a way. Devin Haney got a heinous, absurd, circumstantial 2-fight deal to basically where he had to go to Australia twice. And we all know the drama where Bill Haney damn near wasn't able to be ringside alongside with his son, but some stuff got worked out. It happened, and Bill was able to be ringside, working with his son, helping him become undisputed. So, like I say, Devin got it through the mud. And anybody that try to hate on Devin Haney, like for real and try to question Devin Haney's heart. Devin Haney got one of the biggest hearts that I ever seen. He is literally out there trying to fight the best possible guys available. This Regis fight is dangerous.
I think it's only one hater that I know that's out there that's putting out all that propaganda. I think what's his name, Fanon or something.
Oh, the least attorney. Yeah. Oh, the least attorney. That goofy ass.
He's an attorney that never been in the ring, and he's the only one that's hating on Devin. And I think he used to like Devin back in the day, but I think Devin did something. I don't know if he was sitting on the Rolls Royce dancing or something. I don't know what he was doing. He was doing some.
Man, nobody.
He was doing some young stuff.
Listen.
I think that's when Fanon
turned. Let me say this. Let me say this about that dude. Like I said, him and a couple of other people. You know, that's what they do. They put out a lot of clickbait videos. That dude, he don't have no real like connection with people outside of boxing. Me and Rich, we have the connections. We make the phone calls, or the people talk to us. So at the end of the day, like I said, stop listening to them clickbaiters and all that kind of stuff. You know, stop listening to dudes like the least attorney, because he don't be knowing what the fuck he be talking about. And that's just the bottom line. How many times have he got caught in lies? And that's just real talk. And there's another one out there. I ain't gonna say his name. It's a dude, another hater out there.
Yeah, Devin Haney haters.
Yeah, it's another.
And the thing about it is that how you gonna hate him? How you not gonna have a respect for a person who calls fighters out and fights them? Not just once. I mean twice. Who the hell goes to Australia? Australia. When you go to Australia, you already know you lost the fight. That was the word.
And first of all, he was on the damn shit, just being on a plane for 18 hours.
18 hours.
And flying into another day.
Enemy's territory. 50,000 people chanting, go back home. So, and then he fought God of boxing, who y'all say who was God. Who is God?
Oh, so-called
God.
No,
who can never do wrong.
No, they was called. Some people referred to him as White Jesus. Wasn't that the only thing? The only thing that was special about Lomachenko, and that wasn't even special. That he was white. The white part is right, but wasn't no Jesus in Lomachenko. So I'm just telling you that right now.
When Lomachenko was crying, and then you know what I mean. Hey, I used to like Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying, back in the day. But the way he been acting lately, man, that entitlement.
He don't want to fight.
You know what I mean? And Devin Haney, he summed it up pretty well on Twitter. He said they gave you 3 opportunities and you failed each time. You know what I'm saying? He said you were supposed to win that fight. Easy. You know what I mean? And all the judges had it for Devin, and I understand why all the judges had it for Devin, because Devin, you know what I'm saying, pretty much brutalized him in the early rounds, the first 5-6 rounds with them body shots.
Lomachenko
didn't have an answer.
He probably was pissing out blood after that fight.
He was. He went to the hospital after that fight. And then in the post, we asked Lomachenko, well, what happened in the 12th round?
You saw what I asked him?
Yeah. Oh, that was you.
That was me.
Yeah. We asked him, you know what I'm saying? Well, what happened in the 12th round? He said, oh, I thought I won the round I gave. You don't no champions give up no levels in 12th round. In boxing, ever. That ain't never happened. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't finish the 12th round because he was pissing out what? Blood. And he couldn't finish because he was unable to finish that 12th round because of those body shots that Devin put on. Now that's the story. If y'all want to go write something, go write that.
Well, let me ask y'all this. I dared anybody, and this is real talk. When that fight first happened, when it was over with, for 2.5 weeks, I asked people, I said, name other than the 10th and 11th round, which Lomachenko, you can say clearly won the fight. What other rounds could you give to Lomachenko? Because if you want to say the other rounds were toss-up rounds, well, the champ usually get the benefit of the doubt. So Devin Haney, to me, watching that fight, I had it 8-4 for Devin Haney. The first time when I was there, keep in mind we were there, I think I had it maybe 7-5 for Devin Haney, but then after watching the fight 3 more times, it was 8-4 in favor of Devin Haney. Devin Haney was racking Lomachenko to the body like it was nobody's business. Lomachenko was badly hurt. He was lumped up in the fight. Look at Devin Haney's face after the fight and look at Lomachenko's fight, and then you tell me who won. Now, to be honest with you, I was disappointed in the bias broadcasting via ESPN. Shame on y'all, because y'all was too pro Lomachenko. Y'all was trying to make this the Lomachenko sympathy story because of what was going on in Ukraine and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, Devin Haney should have got more love, because y'all sit up there and say we supposed to be a united front of the United States. But I sat up there and watched the people that came to see that fight. It, except for the people that look like me and Rich that had melanin, most of them people was rooting for Lomachenko. And I just want to say, for the people that be talking all that United States, we fall on, fuck y'all. Y'all full of shit. Y'all was rooting for it.
All right,
there
y'all. Hey, so we're going to give y'all challenge out. Y'all definitely share this video. You know what I'm saying? When y'all get the chance, you know what I'm saying? Hit us up on our pages. You got Town Business in the Business on YouTube. You got Real Boxing Facts. I'm out.
Oh, well, this is